We don't have a lot of time, as I have explained, so we are going to limit it to 15 minutes. So I'll start with the first round of questions from colleagues. And can you kindly introduce yourselves as and when you ask the question and the media house in which you come from? Kiwana Bratibose and Istab Bratibos. Can we start with the first five?
Must I stand?
We can start with the first five. Datendlofu. Aba feel it. So let's start with these two. Bratibos, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Premier. My name is Taborantla from Business Inc. newspaper here in Mafikeng. You said this year is the year of service delivery, the biggest ever government delivery program, which will be the primary activity and dominate. Okay, fine. My focus is on this. You say this is the year of service delivery. Why in particular this year? In other words, what has government been doing all these years? Why have you chosen this year to be the year of this biggest ever government delivery program? Number two, sorry, allow me to go through, because of I would prefer to have, you know, a speech, Santwe, sa hard copy. So I now have to go down and, okay, fine. Great. All right, fine. You've talked about you know, the Zobotla having been turned around, you know, and my question is, how has it been turned around, this town? The town which has been characterized by instability, by protest actions, and just in front of the municipal offices of that town, just in front. You see potholes there. And then I don't want to talk about, you know, townships like Ituseng, and just in town. The town itself doesn't, you know, look good. I mean, there's, you know, chaos all over. So I would want us, I would appreciate if you can just unpack this statement when you say it has been turned around. This Obotla has been turned around. Thank you.
Okay, Dumelang. My name is Ananias Ndlovu from Naledi newspaper. Premier, potso ntlha ke issue a trend ya di potholes. You said some things in the national parliament, Kasona, and I was sitting here listening to you. I was hoping, the issue of potholes. No, I'm quoting that only. Yeah, and my question is, I was expecting you, Sopa, or you'll elaborate and tell us more, but so I don't know if there is any particular reason why you didn't elaborate more issue in a way we are on. And number two, Premier, the issue ya how to allow your Sopa now, which was a monatica Sizulu, Utabantu base Northwest, Basebenzele into the Northwest. August Cross. I want to say Northwest, Basebenzele into the Northwest. We are having an issue now, Premier Mahikeng, or the media launch of Mahikeng will be held in Sandton, Kadiwanta, March. I just want to hear your perspective, Premier. Because the next media were not feeling good, or the Northwest did launch ko Gauteng. So ke batla utlwa maikutlo a gago Premier.
I think the Premier can respond to the first round of questions. There were no any other hands. Okay.
Dumela, Noxolo Sibia from the Sowetan newspaper. Just to add on to my colleague's question over there, the elephant in the room has been what was trending on social media about the rosy picture of, or the rosy service delivery picture that you painted of the province. What do you say to those who say you're out of touch with the lived realities of the people of the province? One. And two, what would you say to the residents who were very offended by that speech that you gave a couple of days ago in Parliament? Thanks.
Any other question, colleagues? Okay. Atumela.
Good day, Premier and my colleagues. Premier, in 2020, your predecessor emphasized even
your name and the media house.
Sorry. It's Lebogang Moeng from Mo Media. Premier, in 2019, your predecessor emphasized even in National Parliament that there was a need for a skills auditing the public service in the Northwest Province. I need to know the progress in that regard. And then my second question is based on the deteriorating state of Mahikeng as a so-called capital city of the province. We as citizens and as journalists, we are very concerned about the deteriorating state of the Mahikeng town. What is government's intention in terms of boosting investor confidence for our town? Thank you.
I'm a little bit disappointed that the questions are not focusing on the Sopa that I presented, and so it's a little bit disappointed. Furthermore, I really respect the role of media to educate and inform our people. But when people have not listened to the entire speech, they've not read the entire speech that was made in Parliament, how do I really engage? Well, what is the point? If you are going to be selective, what is the point? I mean, I can't see how we do that. Because the simple thing is that I stated in English that there are bad and good roads in the Northwest. Now, if you're just going to pick up one point, and for me, really, though I would have loved us to focus on the Sopa speech today. You know, if we say we have no question in terms of the Sopa speech, then it's okay. But let me see what I can do with this Tibos Rantla. Why do we say this year? The issue of service delivery is a key responsibility of government. And every time you do it, you plan to take it to a higher level the next time around. And you will use whatever words to describe how you want to take that service delivery to a higher level. I'm sure when you try to calculate and combine all the amounts that will be used for the roads, you can clearly see that we are taking that to a higher level. I'm sure you can see that in terms of roads, this is going to be, talking about billions here, 600 million here, and so on and so on. So that's what we mean, that we want to take. And in anything that you do, you always try to improve. If you're a journalist, I'm sure next year you will be a better journalist than this year. I'm sure that is what we do, and that is why we say we want to take service delivery to a higher level. And we have come to realize that there were certain constraints, like capacity, technical capacity in terms of preparation of proposals and so on. And so we are addressing this. So as you go along trying to do things, you discover your limitations and say, if I really can deal with them, I may take service delivery to a higher level. Bitsobo turnaround. I mean, this is a straightforward issue. We had 2 municipal managers, we had 2 mayors, we had 2 speakers, and there was, competition as to who is going to be the signatory to the bank account, and we managed to deal with these issues. I'm sure every thinking person will understand that it's going to take time. But we have turned the corner, and there's no guarantee that there won't be reversal. But as far as we are concerned, we are working on that situation. That situation there was really bad. And so we hope that what has been created now will allow us to do certain things so that the municipality can focus on issues of service delivery. And so, Baratibos, that's what we trying to communicate with that. Because if you have 2 mayors, 2 speakers, and 2 municipal managers, how will you manage the municipality? Before you can do anything related to service delivery, you must deal with those challenges. Otherwise, yeah. Ananias Ndlovu, ubhuti wami andazi ukuthi ndiphendule kanjani. Because what I'm saying is, there are names for it. What is it called? Phishing is when they sell you things on the internet that you don't want to buy. What is the other one? There's misinformation and disinformation. What is the other one? And these things, that people do when they selectively quote you, and then on the basis of that want you to explain. I mean, quite clear what I said there, and I want to put that behind me and focus on what I said we are going to do. Because it is important for us to deliver on these roads, on these clinics, on these houses, on these youth opportunities. We want to focus on all that. And so this thing has happened, it's gone. As far as we are concerned, we want our people to focus. Just take this money for the roads, particularly the rural roads. The intention there is to use paving. So that we can create jobs. Unemployment is a serious problem in this country. And so if you go to Makouspan, if you go to Matateng, if you go to, the unemployment rate there is higher than in urban settings. So if you do some of these things there, you will help to create jobs. So now we want to focus on that. And we want to continue engaging the private sector. Yes, somebody will say, no, the private sector is driven by its analysis of whether they'll make profit or not. But if you go to them and you listen to them and they say there are impediments, if you remove these impediments, we may consider investing. Some of them you may regard as simple. When they say that in Kraipan, Harmony is saying that the community there wants to determine as to who should be given tenders and who should be employed. So that Harmony will say, we don't know whether we should put more money in these operations. The same thing is almost happening somewhere in Rustenburg. And so we come in there to come and assist. So it's not like there's nothing we are doing to encourage investment. So that there are cases where government must come in and really play a role. I mean, we are trying to coordinate something called the Kel smelter. The Kel smelter is a type of smelter that does not use high temperatures to process platinum. And if we can do this project in Moses Kotane and provide this facility to many of the platinum mines there, I mean, they say that Moses Kotane in 10 years' time, it will be bigger than Krugersdorp. I mean, it will be. And just think about that. In 10 years, you'll still be around. Rona will be gone. And so you'll see this thing. So these are the type of things you want to focus on. What is it that you can do? This thing of solar panels factory in Stelfontein. Stelfontein is very depressed. And the depression manifest through social ills, you know, teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, gender-based violence, you know, crime, you know. And so if you can build that factory there, you may not employ too many, but the multiplier effect on the type of factory there. And so these are the type of problems we are grappling with and trying to find solutions. Like I said in my speech, nobody said it's easy. No one said it's a walk in the park, or if you like, a park in the walk. But we have to do it. We have no other choice. So, Ndlovu, Prawam, ndicela ufunde yonke into bengisho phaya. Actually, at the National Assembly, there is a copy of my speech. If you can read it, and then we can engage. Tatai will arrange the meeting. Why don't you get a copy for him and send it to him? And then thereafter we engage on that statement. Because it will be like chasing the wind. When people decide on this selective part, I must selective part, and I must not. The issue of Mahika, I don't want to talk about this. I know this has been raised. It's the responsibility of another member of the Executive Council. Let's talk more about things that I'm responsible for. I'll ask her to convene a media briefing so that can talk about Mahika. Where's your question? You know, when I was speaking there, I was in Parliament. I was also speaking in Afrikaans. And I said the road between Wolmaranstad and Schweizer-Reneke is so lelik. The road between Koster, and I listed them. I don't understand if you list these things. Are you creating a rosy picture? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. But I did mention these bad roads. And I did give a few examples of good roads and a few. I couldn't list all of them. People wanted me to list all of them that are good, all of them that are bad, and they say it's a balanced picture. But I just gave examples. And I'm happy to say that we are dealing with the road between Hartbeesfontein and Ottosdal. We are addressing that road, and so we'll be taking it beyond Ottosdal, de la Reyville. And we're starting with this one. And these roads are significant because these are the roads that are used by farmers to take their produce to the market. So it has huge commercial impact, huge commercial value. And so that's why we are attending to them. But all of us agree. You know what the budget of the Republic of South Africa is, the total budget? How many trillions? Do you know? And have you ever compared that with the total market cap of the private sector? And then you realize that government has got no money. No money. The money is with the private sector. So there's a limit to what government can do with the money. So there'll always be prioritization that we'll do this year and next time we'll do this. And there may even be competition between sectors, education and health and roads and so on. And so, but if you don't realize that there's always a need to prioritize, and you think everything can be done at once, done it. Not in the real world, not really in the real world. Yeah, we're still doing this thing of skills audit. We're still doing skills audit. Yes, we are concerned about Mahikeng. We spoke the other day to the Minister of Tourism, because the contract has been out for some time to complete the work that was started at the Manyani game farm or game resort, and to complete the work that was started at Lukamorin Dam. And we spoke to them and they said, we'll be doing these things. We're concerned, and the Executive Council discussed at its Lekotla the need even to give Harona a facelift, and this we want to do, because people may be looking at the facade from outside. But people will know that Haruna is now old. You have to do something about it. But I'm pleased that, the people will show whether there's confidence in a place, that the place has potential and things will get right. It's investment behavior of business. They tell you, oh, I know that they're going to build a mall here. I know they are doing this here. I know they want to build a mall at the Danville intersection. I know people are saying that we want to set up a big mall there. Well, the mall in Unit, what is it called, Morana Mall was done. And the mall in, is it Mahike Mall, the one where they're expanding. And so you look at business and you look at the mines around Mafikeng. They're also PPC, they're expanding. So hopefully these will translate into impact on Mafikeng. But I must say, the mayor of Mafikeng and the municipal manager of Mafikeng, Tibos, you must have an interaction with them. They're starting with certain projects, and so you have an interaction with the mayor and the municipal manager. They'll tell you what they're doing about Mafikeng. And as you know, our flagship project in Mafikeng is the 50 million we are spending on Nelson Mandela. And that is not something that you can debate. I'm sure now is co-creating a lot of inconvenience for people coming into Mafikeng because construction has started there. But let me pause here when and say I hope I've responded to your questions, and our life journalists can spend the whole night with them. Ken Temba is my star and my hero. Ken Temba.
Thanks very much, Premier. We are going to take the last round of questions, colleagues. As you know that the Premier is rushing to another engagement. Is there any other question that maybe colleagues want to pose to the Premier? Okay. Kima. Oh, Tabang Murutwa. Okay. Okay, Tabang.
Okay, thank you very much. Premier Tabang Murutwa from Newsnote News Agency and UFM. In the province, we have an energy crisis, nationally actually, but we have a problem whereby whenever load shedding is implemented, some parts of the province don't get power. We have seen residents go out and protesting about that issue, and it seems ESCOM in the province is taking this lightly. So I wanted to find out, is there a way where a provincial government would intervene? Thank you.
Thanks, Tabang. Any other question, colleagues? Not all.
Premier, in that speech that you've already covered or spoken about, you had also mentioned that Freiberg has flushing toilets and running water. The residents in that area refuted it. They said they've been without water for 10 years, and for the most part of it, when they did have water, it was so inconsistent. How do we fit in this particular community in your Sopa today?
Any other question? Ananias. Okay. Oh, the breakfast test for kids. Okay. Elaborate on it. Okay. No, it's fine. I think that concludes questions from the floor. Premier, you can respond, and we call it a day.
UFM. Taban, this issue of load shedding is a serious crisis for the country, a real serious crisis, and the president has referred to certain strategies to address this crisis. One is to bring ESCOM power station back to effective operation. They are trying to do that. Two is to source energy from independent power producers. They are trying to do that. Three is to ke a bona yana o tsholetsa letsogo gape ke tlhalogantse sentle wa go tla ko load shedding le Eskom ya mo
Yeah,
motlakase o boa after load shedding, there are parts tse di dulang di sena motlakase,
Yes.
not because of load shedding.
not because of load shedding,
But
but
sentence in jane le wa re load shedding e diregile ha
Yes.
motlakase o boa di-plek tse di dula di sena motlakase.
yes, they experience power outages for about 4 days, yes, 5 days. And we've spoken to Eskom about it, but they
It
don't
has
give
got
a
nothing to do
response.
with load shedding.
Yes, it has nothing to do with load shedding.
I think you need technical people to explain to you. They did explain to me how load shedding affects other operations, whether they are substations, whether they are engines, and what damage it causes to them. And so sometimes you may take 4 days to repair damage that was caused by load shedding. I think you'll need technical people. I think I'm not qualified to, but I do understand as they explained to me. So ke re ke a go tlisetsa gore ke go simolelle ko go president re go tlaya nyano wa re ga tlhaloganye potso ya gago. It's all right. But bereka yalo, you know this problem of load shedding, the backup generators le di engine tse dingwe di damage ke yone gape load shedding. Just think about it. And some of the generators are imported from overseas. So if load shedding impact mo generating generator re ntse bereka ya go tsana ko e kae gore o replace di-part ka o di order from over ya go tsaya yone 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, we don't know. But this is what is happening, and it has been causing havoc le ka di-IT systems. Gore IT system e affectiwa ke load shedding, affected the aircon. The aircon di cooler down IT system. IT system is a cool down ya collapse. IT system e collapsitse batho ba batlang go e bereka ba tswa ko IBM ko America. So this thing of you must appreciate impact ya load shedding on the economy and on our social life. For the impact is serious. That is why government has serious attention. But I'm saying to you, you may need technical people to explain the processes that affect the load. Just think about a train in motion, load shedding. I have tried some same time. What's going to happen? So I may not have given you a satisfactory answer, but now I do understand what that's why I really protested amazing. Because load shedding affected the engine, affected the load shedding, the parts. Thank you. You know, kidula ko frabe ke ko gae. So how bua ka dilo tse nna ke di itseng ke ya teng ka di weekend. So a ke tsere ke go arabe ke re ke tla go tsamaya le nna ka weekend. I don't know. And then re tla tshwara conversation because I don't know what nan ke sa bui theory. I did say to people go gae tsela teng e te go pela go ga e masho o ikulewa e masho and ga ba ikalla go e pave ga ba ikalla go e tar and batho ba strata se le ba complain. So but dilo tse di ka nwa tla I'm not saying what has been happening ke bana ba ntse ba neiwa dijo ya la lunch 1 meal bana ka primary school nutrition program ya no go tsengwa le breakfast o ka tateng dlofu gore ba kry, which is a good thing. You know most but the impact of apartheid on our brains as black people, the impact of apartheid is going to be us for more than 3 generations. Or it has even affected the size of our brains. Or how nutritious, it has affected the situation in you. Because how's not you maleng? di affecta di nutrients tse di tlhokiwang ke boboko. So boboko ga bo develope. So ga boboko bo sa develope o tla bo bitse gore black people cannot read and write. Black people cannot deal with numbers. Who discount from the fact that bachakai batuba. So that is why it's really important to our bana bako primary school bakre breakfast. You'll see la bar batsam rugby. You see agar ditsiana. How gatsena a population ya maburu ba itika la khala ba le ba kimakiba ba le batona ba le ili di giant ona ba sanyana ha go amelana mo rugby welatse bona ba le strong because of the nutritious food they got when they were being brought up. So that's why it's very fundamental for the resources or introduce a breakfast ko. E ka re dipotso di hedile wena tatai ki tumela go bua le nyena di journalists re tla na le meeting gape tatai o batla go organize o mongwe well, I get disappointed in really go launch tsele ya ku Pelinda ba to kana gate kae Peckenwood. Journalists were not there, and that's a very important road, and we are spending 600 million on that road. So every time we launch these projects, they don't come. They don't come, I don't know, they are not interested. I think they just want to give me sound bites, that what they are interested in. But it's like Yabula, they don't come. And so on. But thank you very much for being with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. And those who are traveling back to Rustenburg and to Johannesburg, have a safe journey back home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Premier. And on that note, we are going to organize a media day whereby we are going to afford you an opportunity, just in a relaxed mood, to interact with the Premier.